What's up everyone and welcome to Radio 2. So today we have a request from my dear Patron Mr. H. Mr. H, thank you so much for requesting, I really appreciate it. We're back with some country and we're back with Kenny Rogers. We're one of the GOATs when it comes to country. I love this man, and this one is called Coward of the Country. And yeah, it's an official audio, so I'm always excited to listen to a country song. So yeah, I don't want to waste any more of your time. Let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm ready. I know you're ready. This is Kenny Rogers, Coward of the Country, official audio. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Everyone considered him the coward of the county. He'd never stood one single time to prove the county wrong. His mama named him Tommy, but folks just called him Yellow. Something always told me they were reading Tommy wrong. He was only 10 years old when his daddy died in prison. I looked after Tommy 'cause he was my brother's son. I still recall the final words my brother said to Tommy. Son, my life is over, but yours has just begun. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now, it won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. There's someone for everyone, and Tommy's love was Becky. In her arms he didn't have to prove he was a man. One day while he was working, the Gatlin boys came calling. They took turns at Becky, and there was 3 of them. Tommy opened up the door and saw his Becky crying. The torn dress, the shattered look was more than he could stand. He reached above the fireplace and took down his daddy's picture. As his tears fell on his daddy's face, he heard these words again. Promise me, son, not to do the things I've done. Walk away from trouble if you can. Now, it won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. I hope you're old enough to understand. Son, you don't have to fight to be a man. The Gatlin boys just laughed at him when he walked into the bar room. One of them got up and met him halfway across the floor. When Tommy turned around, they said, "Hey, look, old Yellow's leaving." But you could have heard a pin drop when Tommy stopped and locked the door. 20 years of crawling was bottled up inside him. He wasn't holding nothing back, he let them have it all. When Tommy left the barroom, not a Gatlin boy was standing. He said, "This one's for Becky," as he watched the last one fall. And I heard him say, "I promised your dad not to do the things you've done. I'll walk away from trouble when I can. Now please don't think I'm weak, I didn't turn the other cheek. And Papa, I sure hope you understand. Sometimes you gotta fight when you're a man." Everyone considered him the coward of the county.
Wow. Oh, what a song. I literally had shivers on multiple moments. But yeah, country has always been about storytelling at its finest, and this one was no different. Literally, we have a guy who he lost his father when he was 10, who was Kenny's brother, apparently, and Kenny is his uncle, and he took care of him, growing up. At some point, he did grow up. He had Becky, love of his life, but yeah, 3 men assaulted her, to say the least. And Tommy took his revenge at the end, but he did took his father's advice. The father gave him advice before going away, before passing away, he ain't gotta fight to be a man. To be smart, not make the mistakes that he has done. And he always listened to that advice, even growing up. But at the end, he did say, well, because you're a man, you're gonna have to fight sometimes. He said that. Just because I'm a man doesn't mean I don't have to fight. Yeah, the father gave him that advice. Just because you're a man, you don't have to fight. But just because you're a man, you're gonna fight. It's how it is. And he really, man, it was a cold moment when you could hear a pin drop, and he locked the barn door, and he just, he pretty much beat them up, all 3 of them. So justice was a little bit served, but that's a little bit too much. I don't know how he holding on to just beat them up. If that was a lot of other people, they're getting in there with the guns, probably including me. Getting in with a gun and just ending these dudes. And it's whatever happens with my life from now on. But he did the right thing. He just went in there, gave him a little whooping, and, just went away. So, I guess that's fine. And he holded on to the advice of his father. He didn't do any mistake. He ain't gonna go to prison. He's a grown man. He still has the love of his life. Yeah, she was humiliated, but she will recover. Together they will recover. And that's how it goes. I guess a father's figure can be very important. Even of a young age, he still remembered his father's advice. So that is quite important. And I think it kind of showed in this video because of his father's advice, he then ended up killing these men at the end. And because he was holding on to it. Which was incredible. He really showed a true manhood, and he handled business the proper way, if I may say. He just took their respect, and that's that. That's all he can do. So that was quite incredible. Incredible song, man. Kenny Rogers never disappoints with his songs, and yeah, a father figure is so important. You can see it. Even he grew up without a father, but at some point he did have a father, and yeah, after this, obviously his uncle Kenny, grew him up, which was pretty cool. They called him Coward of the County. Well, while he is obviously the biggest man of the county, this boy Tommy. So yeah, incredible song. Thank you so much, Mr. H, for this one. I really enjoyed it. That was remarkable. And yeah, this is gonna be it from me. Bye bye. I'll see you in the next one.